Hi dear friends, welcome to S4 Shania Science classes. Today we are going to discuss about the remaining part of kingdom Protista, that is actually Euglenoids, slime molds and Protozoans. In these things we will go for that what is their structure, what is the specialty and their examples. Before going to the video, I would like to request you all, if anybody remaining to subscribe my channel, please subscribe it, and these videos are really helpful for you. Please share with your friends and support me. So we are going to the topic. First one, the Euglenoids. Here you can see that Euglenoids are actually the freshwater organisms, right? Freshwater Protista, which is actually found in stagnant water. You can see the picture here. The best example of Euglenoid is Euglena itself, right? So here, if you are checking the structure, you can see that these are actually Euglena like unicellular. These are also unicellular and flagellates. They are flagellated organisms, and mostly you can see these Euglenoids organisms in stagnant water. Most of them possess two flagella, right? Here I have given the picture of Euglena itself. You can see that they are having two flagella. One is the long one and one is the short one, right? So mostly they have two flagella. दो flagella present होती है. एक बहुत बड़ा flagella, long flagella होती है और छोटा सा एक छोटा, right? So you can see that short one is there, right? Inside the groove you can see the short one also. Right, or what about their mode of nutrition? If you are checking that mode of nutrition, mostly they are photosynthetic. If you are going for the structure of that Euglena, right, most of them you can see that there actually cell wall is not there, but instead of the cell wall they are having a flexible body is there, which is actually called pellicle, right? So till the moment what we have learned that dinoflagellate के बारे में हमने learn किया है, chrysophytes also we have learned, right? Both they possess cell wall, right? But ये Euglenoids हो उनको कोई भी सेल वॉल नहीं है, बट सेल वॉल की जगह दे आर हैविंग ए थिक कवरिंग, राइट? तो थिक कवरिंग है बट इट इज एक्चुअली फ्लेक्सिबल भी है, राइट? सेल वॉल यू कैन सी दैट इट इज रिजिड, so it cannot actually, there will be no flexibility, but here these Euglenoids are really flexible because of the presence of pellicle instead of cell wall. That you have to remember, that's very important point here, right? Again I am telling that mode of nutrition photosynthetic है, तो obviously they will make their own food in presence of sunlight, right? जब भी water available, that means light की availability है, तो they can perform the photosynthesis. If sunlight available नहीं है, तो they will behave as a heterotroph. That means they will behave as a predator that now on the other small organisms. That means they will capture their food and they will digest it, right? So it can even follow heterotrophic mode of nutrition also. That's why most of them, especially they are mixotrophic. जैसे कि Euglena वो दोनों mode of nutrition follow करती है, तो उसको mixotrophic mode of nutrition भी बताती है. The best example of Euglenoids are Euglena and another example Pernamia, right? You can see that in any of the example, the best example Euglena, you can take it, you can easily remember that, right? So this is all about Euglenoids. एक छोटा सा category, right? Now we are moving to the next category that you can see that slime molds. It's very interesting category. अभी तक हमने dinoflagellate, chrysophytes बता दिया था, mostly photosynthetic है, और Euglenoids जिसके बारे में हमने learn किया है, they are actually mixotrophic mode of nutrition दिखाती है. That means you can see that even photosynthetic and heterotrophic also, right? Slime molds actually a special type of protista है जिसमें saprophytic mode of nutrition देख सकती है, right? So saprophytic means they will feed on dead and decaying matter, right? So here they are actually feeding dead and decaying. That means we can say that decaying twigs and leaves, right? It's very interesting to watch, right? So these are actually the saprophytic for protista, right? तो ये क्या होती है? I will add one time lapse video here, BBC World की time lapse video of slime mold. You can see that, right? So here what is that actually? Whenever favorable condition होती है, that means enough food वगैरह available होती है, these slime mold की cells aggregate कर एक special structure बताती है, which is having multinucleated structure, right? Normally वो uninucleated है. जब भी enough food वगैरह availability होती है, that means जब enough decaying matter available होती है, तो ये सारे cells मिलकर एक aggregation की mass बना देती है, which is called a plasmodium, right? ये plasmodium, it's actually धीरे धीरे whenever the decaying matters will that ना go on, that ना decay करती है, तो उसके साथ साथ it will also go, right? That means it will even that ना spread even 100 meters. How much the decaying is occurring, that ना the same way these will also and spread even 100 meters, right? So that's the specialty. Here you can see that I have added added the time-lapse video of BBC here. The link, the full video link I have given in the description box also. You can check it out. It's very interesting. You can see that the slime molds, it's actually going with the twigs, the decaying twigs, right? It's very interesting, right? And these plasmodium, right, so it will produce, after once that it will finish their food and all, it will even converted into fruiting body, and they will have that special sporangia which is having spores, right. That means एक बार वो पूरा decay हो गया, that means उसका food वगैरह complete हो गया, then it can be even converted into their corresponding fruiting body जिसमें sporangia होती है और उसके अंदर spores परोसती है, right. And actually these spores की cell wall है बहुत actually tough nature hai, and they are actually cellulosic in nature. That means these spores can even survive for so many years, right. After years also it will be like that. It will very resistance to the environmental conditions or all. So जब भी वो favorable condition आ जाती है, ये spores disperse होगा and it will continue the life cycle of the plasmodium. So you can, it's very interesting. You can see that जब भी वो favorable food, that means enough food मिल जाती है, तो it will eat on that food, right. It will be converted, the slime mold will be converted into aggregate of multinucleated structure. उसको हम plasmodium बुलाती है, right. Another plasmodium is that we will go and learn in protozoans. That's actually entirely different. ये plasmodium is actually multinucleated है, or this will be aggregates of cells together, and they will continue grow with the decaying twigs and leaves, right. Once that will finish, then it can be even converted into their corresponding fruiting body which bear the sporangia. Sporangia के अंदर spores होती है. These spores are actually highly resistant. जब भी favorable condition आ जाती है, ये disperse होती है and plasmodium की life cycle continue कर देती है, right. And the best examples of slime molds are Physarum and Fuligo. These are the two examples of slime molds. I hope you understand that, right. Now the next type of category we are going to discuss here, that's our protozoans, right. Mostly all students are actually believing that these protozoans are the Protista, but हमने बहुत सारी different type of Protista के बारे में learn किया है. क्लास 9 में एक्चुअली हम अमीबा, पैरामेशियम, यूग्लिना यही नाम सुना था. उसमें सिर्फ यूग्लिना अभी तक आई है. यू कैन सी दैट दैट्स कमिंग अंडर यूग्लिनॉइड्स. अभी हमारा अमीबा और पैरामेशियम बाकी है. That's actually included in the category protozoans, right. You have already learned about different other type of protistans also, right. So what is the specialty of these protozoans? These all protozoans are heterotrophs in nature, right. That means they are even they can see seen as a predator or even as a parasite also, you can see that. ये protozoans actually considered as the primitive relatives of animals. That means ये हमारा animals की relative, पहले पुराना relative की जैसा consider कर देती है, right? Because they are following the what say heterotrophic mode of nutrition. They can even act as a predator. Oh, that means that now what's our parasites की जैसा भी you can see that these protozoans are there, right? Or mostly according to the where you can find it, these can be found in anywhere. Fresh water, maybe you can see that. Even stagnant water you can see that. Sea water may be दिख सकती है. Even moist soil maybe you can see that, right. According to the locomotory organ present in this, these protozoans further classify किया है amoeboid protozoans, flagellated protozoans and even ciliated protozoans, and last category sporozoans. क्या क्या है इसका category? You can see here I have given the picture. Amoeboid protozoans. Obviously amoeboid protozoans की example है amoeba. Amoeba, what is the locomotory organ here? In the picture you can see that we have already learned also. In the picture you can see that their locomotory organ, that's actually pseudopodia. Pseudopodia की मतलब है false foot, right. So that means it will it's an extension of their cytoplasm. Whenever there will be food availability will be there, they will extend their cytoplasm into that area. That's actually the pseudopodia extension will be there. That will be cover the entire food particle and that will be engulf into them. That means food vacuole बनेगा, उसके अंदर उसका digestion होगा. You can see that the video of this how the amoeba capturing the food, that also I will include here. You can check in the description box below and you can see the entire video also. It's really interesting to watch it, right. So what is the specialty of amoeboid protozoan? Best example amoeba है, right. So amoeboids actually move and capture the food by the use of pseudopodia, or you can see that some parasitic forms are also present in this amoeboid protozoans, right. So you can see the entamoeba is the examples of parasitic amoeboid protozoans, right. Now we are moving to the second category of protozoans, that's our flagellated protozoans. Obviously from the name you can easily understand flagellated protozoans है तो उसके ऊपर flagella होती है, right? So the locomotory organ is flagella, right? Mostly flagellated protozoans are free living or either parasitic, right? So best example हमारा that trypanosoma, that's actually the sleep which is causing the sleeping sickness. Very important thing, right? Trypanosoma gambians, which is actually causing African sleeping sickness. Why it is actually African sleeping sickness? Because if the person who is having infected with these flagellated protozoans, trypanosoma, then their life cycle, that means sleeping cycle, will be disturbed. They will have disruptions in their sleeping cycle. They will not have a proper sleeping cycle. That's why it is called sleeping sickness, right? So we can say that African sleeping sickness, which is caused by Trypanosoma gambians. This is the best example of flagellated protozoans. And the locomotory organ present in them, that's actually the flagella. The next category of protozoans according to their locomotory organ, that's actually the ciliated protozoans. Ciliated protozoans mostly aquatic है, right? And throughout their body you can see that cilia is present, right? So these are actually actively moving organisms है क्योंकि उसकी body में thousands of cilia present होती है. The best example again we learned, right? That's actually the paramecium. You can see the picture here. These organisms, ciliated protozoans को एक special structure भी होती है. This paramecium is actually known as the slipper animalcule. That means उसका shape एक slipper जैसा ही है. Throughout the body, there are thousands of cilia is present, right? So these cilia will move together, एक साथ move करती है, so that it will help them for the movement of the organism, right? So what will happen here? If any food material present here, these by the help of this cilia, the food material will move into the nearby area where is the oral groove is there, through which the food will be taken inside and it will be converted into the food vacuole form. Inside the food vacuole, this food will be digested and it will be eliminated. That means undigested food material will be eliminated through the anal pore to the outside. So that's actually happening in the ciliated protozoans. Example, paramecium. The best example is actually paramecium. That means because of the presence of cilia, we are there naming it as ciliated protozoans. Now the last category. Abhi tak we have learned about that. Amoeboid में pseudopodia है, flagellated में that means flagellated protozoans में flagella है locomotory organ, ciliated protozoans में cilia है. तो जिसमें कोई locomotory organ नहीं है तो उनका नाम क्या होगा? They are known as the sporozoans, right? जिसमें कोई सा भी locomotory organ नहीं है and these protozoans will produce spores also. So that's why they are named as sporozoans, right? So sporozoans are actually, you can see that the diverse organisms which is actually having an infectious spore like stage in their life cycle. That means उसका पूरा life cycle में एक stage ऐसे होती है जिसमें infectious spore producing stage होती है, इसलिए उसका नाम sporozoan रखा हुआ है, right? That means ये protozoan जिसके पास कोई भी locomotory organs नहीं होती है और इसका life cycle complete होने में एक stage ज़रूरी spore producing stage होती है and that is actually infectious also. That means ये सारे variety mostly disease causing varieties होती है, right? So entire life cycle contain a stage which is having infectious spore producing stage. The best example of these are हमारा malarial parasite plasmodium. Plasmodium can be even different types की होती है, like Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium malaria, like that. The malarial parasite we can commonly name it as. ये Plasmodium और दूसरी हमारे slime mold Plasmodium से बिल्कुल अलग है. Can you say that what is the difference here? ये Plasmodium single cellular है, right? And you can see that this is single cellular and that Plasmodium actually multicellular है, right? Or here you can see that these are actually parasitic form है, वो actually saprophytic form है. You can easily understand the difference, right? So here there is no locomotory organ present and they are actually very notorious, right? Group of protozoans, that's actually the sporozoans which producing the malaria-like disease. That's a malarial parasite. Plasmodium is the best example, right? So बहुत सारा human population को malaria की effect होती है because of this sporozoan which is coming under kingdom Protista. Here we are going to finish that, the kingdom Protista. I hope you have a clear idea. Thank you.